Let's welcome in our ESPN NFL Nation Steelers reporter, Brooke Pryor, who's like, Jeff Darlington's showing off his weather down there in Florida. It's an unseasonably warm day in Pittsburgh. So, Brooke, I want to ask you, what is the reaction around the team to this Flores hire?
You know, I think there are multiple levels to it, and all of them are positive. Cornerback Joe Hayden, who will actually be a free agent here in just a few weeks, tweeted, "The Steelers organization is first class," and then someone responded to him just kind of echoing his praise, and he said, yeah, you know what, the Rooney family is Hall of Fame. And I texted defensive captain Cam Hayward about it, and I said, what do you think about this hire? And he said, this guy, he is a premier coach. He had a pretty good defense down in Miami, and he's excited to see how Flores can come in and help all of them grow. I think that a hire like this can be like a Mike Munchak type hire, and what he did for the offensive line. The hope is that Brian Flores can do that for this defensive group that, like all of you guys have mentioned, the run defense was atrocious. You bring in a guy like Brian Flores, there's hope that he can revitalize that group. And in talking with Kevin Colbert today, he also focused on the football implications of this hire. Colbert has a football background. He was a scout, pro personnel director, all of that. And that's exactly what he pointed out about Flores. He said, I really like that he has this personnel background. He was a Patriots scout before he became a coach, and that's something that he was a big fan of. So across the board, the Steelers organization, everyone, I have not heard a bad word about this hire. There's a lot of excitement and a lot of optimism about bringing him into the building.
Brooke, you mentioned Kevin Colbert speaking today. This was his annual address with the reporters locally in Pittsburgh before the combine begins. His last one is he's stepping away after the draft as the Steelers general manager. One of their priorities, or perhaps the priority, is, of course, their quarterback situation this offseason. What did he have to say about what's going down or what could go down in Pittsburgh?
Well, he said that if the season started tomorrow, Mason Rudolph would be the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The good news is that the season doesn't start tomorrow, but it's still a vote of confidence in Rudolph, a guy who has had somewhat of a tumultuous career here in Pittsburgh. He was thrust into that starting job after Ben Roethlisberger got hurt and had, some mixed results there. And then last year, he also had to come in again when Ben Roethlisberger tested positive for COVID. And it was a little bit of a rocky start also. He ended up with 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and that tied to the Detroit Lions. But they also expect to add quarterbacks to the roster. They're not going to go into the season with just Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. Kevin Colbert said he wants 4 quarterbacks on the roster going into camp, and they will exhaust everything from the draft to free agency to trades. They are all over the board. And the biggest thing that Kevin Colbert said he looks for is accuracy. He said that accuracy in a college quarterback is a pretty good indicator of accuracy in the NFL, and what he doesn't want is an inaccurate quarterback coming out of the college ranks. So look for that while the Steelers are evaluating these guys at the draft or at the combine next week.
And there's a pretty good one in Kenny Pickett just down the hallway, literally from the Steelers at Pitt, perhaps an option in the draft. Brooke, great stuff. We thank you so much for joining us here on NFL Live.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.